Hey guys, Dave with Moniology here. Hope everyone is having a great day. Today's July 2nd, 2020. This is the Uranium Watchlist Premium Edition, but this is free and available to the public. We are in a good mood today. It's been spent a couple of days on vacation with the family, feel well rested, and to come back to a portfolio that's considerably higher than I left it on Sunday. So that's keeping me in a very good mood, so I'd like to share that with you and show you kind of what I'm seeing. By the way, have you ever noticed this particular house over here? I'm not sure quite what it is, but it's been in a lot of my videos, so who knows? Anyway, I digress. Let's dive in. All right, so this video will be done from a daily perspective, and we've covered them from monthly perspectives, weekly perspectives, and this one will be more short-term for this particular watch list. And diving in, this will be in alphabetical order, so not in any particular preference. Starting with the URA ETF, this is still the largest market cap ETF to my knowledge that has a uranium name in it. It's still it's got a lot of components that are not tied to uranium, so it's not a pure play. However, this shows me like this is ready to really skyrocket, but it needs to break that 1130 area. Right now, there's still some pretty substantial negative divergence on this particular move, so it needs to break out to confirm that this is a legit move, again, according just to this ETF here. I think it's going to happen. Notice one of the reasons why is MACDs are very close to breakout here, really for the first time since effectively mid-March when the markets bottomed. Yes, we had it here just a little bit, but that was, I think, a blip on the radar. This one seems to me a lot more legitimate considering what we're seeing in the overall market. So Uranium Participation Corp, to those of you new to our videos, this is the best tracker, if you will, of the spot price of uranium through stock charts, and so that's why I use this exclusively. Notice here that the pattern itself is in a bullish flag formation, but most importantly here is that although this flag has not yet broken, it's about to, but hasn't broken yet. What I'm seeing here is a couple bullish signs. First is the 5 days about to cross over the 10-day moving average over here. Secondly, this downtrend in momentum has been broken. So whereas price is not yet broken to the upside, momentum has both broken the downtrend in RSI as well as this 50 RSI level. So point is, this is setting up for a very bullish development, which if this breaks out, the target will be basically a move similar to what we saw over here. So that tells me another 20 to 30% higher is very, very plausible over the coming weeks, and that will mean significant gains in most of these equities, if not all of them. ALX Uranium, always first on our list, but it's really not showing much at this point. I will say to those who are bullish this chart, MACDs are looking strong. It's finally crossed zero here, and this gets interesting to me when we break that 6 cent level. Until then, there are just much better names to invest in. Anfield Energy, so this one is consolidating right now, and this is a great area to buy right here because your stop loss is right below that area, so you don't have that much a downside. And now you've got the moving averages consolidating. MACDs just crossed over zero, and this to me is setting up for a big upside move in the coming weeks. So this is on a fundamental basis. This is not one of my favorite plays by a long shot. However, from a technical perspective, this might have the best near-term return here over the coming couple of weeks. I apologize for that outside noise here. I've been effectively kicked out on the balcony by my family due to all the various Zoom summer camps and so on. API Energy, so this is a rare earth / uranium play. It doesn't really track uranium so much. It's probably been one of the most frustrating stocks to trade. This is one of those where you just gotta, if you believe in the fundamental story, then you buy it at these prices because it's going to move much higher. But if you trade it, it's very hard to use technical analysis for. You just see the ups and downs, the volatility. It's just too frustrating to stick to your rules and still follow technical analysis. Overall, the trend is consolidating here below a major breakout region here around 19 cents. And to me, this is going much higher. But like I said, technicals are not necessarily strong to this chart. As Argan Uranium, is setting up for a very nice breakout here. It's consolidating in this bullish triangle here with a 15 as the downside, and I would say 17 roughly is the upside of this particular angle. And if this breaks, then I think the next move is 28 cents and likely moves much higher thereafter. A couple things I want to point out. First and foremost, we're consolidating. Let's just erase this, clear this up, show you what I'm seeing. Notice that we've been consolidating between 15.5 and 17 cents, right? But what has momentum been doing in the meantime? So whereas price has been consolidating up and down, not really doing anything, momentum has been creating higher highs, higher lows. And though it was just rejected by the 50 RSI, would not at all be surprised to see an upside breakout very soon, which is going to see a 10-20% update on this particular stock. So overall, I like the risk reward. Your stop loss is below 14 cents at this point, and your upside at a minimum is 28 cents. As in court, another one of those frustrating penny stocks, not penny stocks if you will, but penny juniors in the uranium watch list. I pointed out on Twitter earlier today that when the sector really starts to move in this next leg higher, it's when these little penny stocks like Azincourt and ALX and PurePoint and Fission 3.0 really start breaking out. And so far they haven't, but they're showing quite a few signs that they're about to. Bottom line is that notice this bottomed and really took off, and then started breaking down in late April. And frankly, that's when the sector started breaking down. So some of these juniors, more speculative juniors, are really good barometers on what the market's thinking right now, because clearly they're going to go up the most and they're going to drop the most when these cycles turn. And so we've already broken the downtrend in RSI. Now we back testing that 38 level, and I expect to see a move higher relatively soon. MACDs are moving in the positive trajectory, and the volume's starting to pick up. So all in all, I'm just seeing a lot of signs of a lot of bullish momentum coming in. Blue Sky Uranium, this one is very interesting. So this is a very clear-cut bullish flag, right? Now you've got the consolidation of the moving averages now, and we've already broken out of this momentum downtrend, a bullish flag downtrend, and now we're consolidating in time. Right below the 50 RSI level. So you've got a bullish divergence in the sense that momentum is broken into the downtrend. Price has not yet done so, but it's also consolidating below 14 cents. To me, this is going to break very soon to the upside, and the move from 5.5 cents to 23 cents. So I would say that same percentage gain will be experienced on the next leg to the upside. Likely takes this towards that 40 to 50 cent range to the upside. So really good upside. And notice the MACDs are in positive territory. Now, Cameco, interesting. I owned a little bit of Cameco this morning. I sold out of Cameco to buy more of some of these miners because, frankly, the up move in Cameco is going to be nice, but it's going to be nowhere in comparison to to some of these names that we're covering in this particular review. But bottom line is this particular chart is gorgeous. It's consolidating above 950. It's being bought, and even though it's been every time it's hit this particular trend line, it's fallen back. There's not much more room to go, and eventually this breaks most likely to the upside. That first target is 1150, but again, that move from 530 to 1126 is a over 100% gain, and I think the same type of move we'll be seeing in Cameco. So we'll probably see this well above $20 before this next leg is over. Pointing out again the various different similarities in the various charts. The MACDs have broken above zero. This downtrend in RSI has already been broken. And RSI always leads price, almost always. There are very, very few exceptions, and I've looked at probably millions of charts already in my lifetime. Here's RSI breaking above 50. Now we closed slightly below that today, but again, very close to an upside breakout. Would not at all be surprised if that happens tomorrow. Obviously, the U.S. markets are closed due to Independence Day observance, but the Canadian markets are open, so go Canada. Sky Uranium. This one is consolidating right now, and also looks to be at the apex here of this triangle, and likely breaks higher at a minimum towards 28 cents. All right, we're getting into some of my favorites here. Centrus Energy. This one we've rallied quite considerably from the lows when we initially got into this name, and now we're really consolidating again, probably towards another breakout. I pointed out a couple of times that the momentum was breaking, and sure enough, we corrected from 12 all the way to 950, 925. But now we found support at this 50 RSI level. So long as it holds around that $9 zone, I think this continues moving higher towards 12 and then eventually much higher than that. Deep yellow, consolidating, similar type of consolidation to a lot of these bullish triangle. One of these days in the near future, this is going to pop, and it's going to pop very nicely along with the rest of the sector. Notice the accumulation on this particular name. It's pretty impressive. Denison Mines consolidating here, and a bullish flag formation that is likely going to break above this 40-cent level sooner rather than later. It already has broken above this RSI downtrend. So although we pulled back today due to this 50 RSI level resistance, likely that a break to the upside is in the cards very, very soon. Having crossed over the MACDs, overall everything looks good. Encore Energy, as you guys know, this is our favorite play in the space, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's the best one, but happens to be the one that's had the best overall long-term chart, and that's kind of how we've been playing it. It's got some great fundamentals, but I'll let you do that due diligence on your own. Bottom line is 26 cents is a major line in the sand. It's been resistance for the last couple of weeks, and to me, this looks like it's about to be broken. You've got the MACDs crossing above zero right now, and to me that this is setting up for a major day in the near future. Would not be surprised to see a 20-25% move right off the bat very, very soon. Beyond that, I expect this to be over $1 a share at some point in the next 12 to 24 months. So I'm riding this particular trend for a long time. Energy Fuels, it's been consolidating and coiling here between that 140 and 180 area. To me, this is a must buy, especially if you're a believer in the price of uranium. This is one of the best positioned equities to buy for that uptrend. Not our favorite, but nevertheless has a tremendous upside here. And notice this downtrend is about to be broken to the upside here. Fission 3.0. One of the most speculative speculative companies in terms of price and volatility, but boy, do they have a really nice portfolio of assets in the Athabasca region. This one's going to do incredibly well if the price of uranium continues, or not continues, but finally breaks out of its 12-year plus downtrend. Now, notice that this is in a descending triangle, kind of broke down here, and now it broke out. The MACDs have crossed above zero, and to me that this is going towards that 11.5 cent zone sooner rather than later. Fission Uranium. So I'm a bit frustrated on this one because we didn't quite catch the bottom here, and we wanted to, but didn't have enough funds available till about this point. And so it's all right. You don't win them all. But bottom line is the market gods offered a very, very good price to us, and we thought that this was a great opportunity to buy in. And so buy in we did, and it's rallied incredibly. It's broken the downtrend, and now it's headed towards that 50 RSI level. Might pull back a little bit, but eventually I think this goes much higher, and our expectation is to see the 40s in the near future, and eventually over a buck to be sure. Forces Metals, frustrating name, very, very low volume setup, but nevertheless a very bullish setup that's going to see much higher prices. If you've got a fundamental reason to own this, this is a great time to go long. Next on the list is Forum Energy Metals. Forum Energy has been frustrating because it has just been coiling and coiling and coiling and hasn't done much. However, it's starting to show signs of life. They've got a major drill program going on with Rio Tinto right now. This is a uranium, this is a copper, this is a palladium play in one of the best regions in the world. I think that these guys are going to come up with something really special. So as a speculative play, this is probably my favorite one of the bunch. And wouldn't be surprised to see this at half a buck before this is all said and done. Global Atomic Corp, speaking of great plays, this one is made a move from 23 to 90 cents, although this one was a bit of an anomaly, this move to 90 cents. I expect this to be well above $1 sooner rather than later. It's pulled back here. If you're lucky enough, you might get it still at that 56-cent level as it fills this gap. If you're not, then this is likely headed to 90 cents very soon. MACDs look strongest in this name of any in the sector. So in terms of the technicals, this is probably the best, one of the best looking charts in our watch list on every single time frame. Gavix Uranium. Short term, this is an incredible chart. Long term, this is a great investment opportunity. Has broken out of the bull flag, and now the next target is from 7.5 cents to 19. Was basically a 3x move. I expect that same sort of 3x move to the upside on this next leg higher. Likely takes us towards that 40 to 45 cent range on Gavix, and that's probably when we'll consider taking our first profits of this trade. ISO Energy, another great looking miner based on, again, chart alone. Bullish flag in an uptrend like this, making new all-time highs or close to it, even as the overall sector has been consolidating. Beautiful. You can't ask anything better. And this one to me is going to see well above a buck sooner rather than later. All right, KAZ.L here is consolidating between 1320 and 1420. This likely goes much higher in the near future. Obviously, we're not suggesting this is an investment, but nevertheless, as just a barometer on what's happening in the market, this is a chart that's setting up for much more upside. Laramide Resources. This is a very coiled bullish flag right here. That is as coiled as you can get, and then we had a beautiful hammer pattern so far today. Soon this is headed towards 37. Eventually, I see this again moving from 10 cents to 37 cents. That's close to 4x return. This would likely send shares towards 80 cents to the upside. So a great looking chart right now, and if you can get in at these prices, definitely consider doing so. Lightbridge Corp, not a great looking chart right now, although I will say that if you're going to bottom, this is where you're going to do it, because this is where the price broke out here, corresponds to this particular level of RSI, and that's where we're at right now. So could there be one more flush? Potentially, but I think this could be a great opportunity to initiate a new long for those interested. Mega Uranium, not sure what happened here. I don't know if they diluted or whatnot, but strike price or stock price broke down here, but quickly recaptured. I think this could be an opportunity to grab some shares at a pretty deep discount to underlying NAV on Mega Uranium. Next Gen Energy, this is coiling as much as any, and to me that this is going to break out and be one of the best performers in the next 3 to 5 years in the uranium space. Paladin Energy, frustrating chart, but above 9.5 cents, this is a strong buy. Below that point, it's basically dead money. But again, once this breaks out, this is going to be a very sharp move to the upside. MACDs have just crossed zero, so I do believe, again, that a move is coming. Plateau Energy, this one I've been covering for quite some time. Been a very frustrating investment, but I think that this is setting up, this is basing very strongly. And to me, if there's an opportunity to trim some gains in some of these other names and to get into this one, I will certainly be looking to do that, because this is a name that could see well above a buck before this rally is over, once it does break out. All right, PurePoint, one of those miners that I was talking about earlier, these penny miners. Above 4 cents, this can rally really strongly. Momentum on the RSI has already broken out, so I think the move is imminent, and the MACDs are looking strong. So all the recipe is there for a very strong upside move in PurePoint. Notice that here versus here, we had a double bottom with much much stronger momentum on the second leg here than the first, and that's what you're looking for confirmation that this particular bottom is likely to be bought. By the way, if these kids continue yelling, I might have to go out there and show them some knuckles, if you know what I mean. Don't they know that I'm shooting a video here? Anyway, Sky Harbor Resources. This one is also consolidating and looking to break out very, very soon. If you don't already own this name, this is a great opportunity to buy above 17. This is a move from 8 cents to 23 cents. That's a 4x move. So 17, we're looking at a potential move towards about 70 plus cents on Sky Harbor in the second leg of this move. So very, very nice looking chart. Beautiful, beautiful setup. Texas Mineral Resources. This one's interesting. Is it going to hold the 160 level, or is it going to break lower? I'm watching very closely. Personally, I kind of hope it breaks down because I'd love to be able to pick up shares in the 80 to 90 cent range. But on the other hand, if it can recapture that 50 level over the coming couple days, it can break out and make another move to the upside. Again, this is a rare earth play, and it's very possible a lot of the folks selling this name are jumping into the uranium space because they're so related. UEX Corp, one of our favorites. Beautiful chart from 6.5 cents to 19. Basically a 3x move. So this likely sends shares to about 40 cent level, similar to GoVX. MACDs well into the positive territory, and looks like a breakout is very, very soon to happen. The RSI has already broken out, so the price will soon follow. Your energy, boring chart, but again, this is a move that's likely going to end up in a strong breakout very soon. RSI, if you draw this trend line, has already broken out. Now we're just facing that 50 level, likely gets broken very, very soon. Your energy, uranium energy, this one's consolidating and in a bullish wedge kind of formation here, bullish flag, and eventually this is going to make a strong up move once the price of uranium moves. But again, this is not one of the best names fundamentally to own in the sector, in my humble opinion. And finally, on this watch list is Western Uranium. Great opportunity here. Bottom line is this one's being bought. This was a double bottom without positive divergence. In fact, this double bottom had negative divergence. But that being said, this momentum move is likely breaking to the upside. And so if you've done some due diligence and you're comfortable with the risk reward, this could be a great opportunity. When you're looking at the MACDs, this one is setting up really nicely. To me, I feel a lot more comfortable if this breaks above that 42 cent level before I go long. But this is a name I'm certainly looking at these prices. So overall, you guys know my favorites are Encore Energy, GoVX, and UEX Corp. Those are the three favorite charts that I've seen over time, and Global Atomic and ISO Energy as well. But given the prices, we're starting to look at, and we started to invest in FCU and some of these smaller names as well that we own some small positions. Starter positions will probably be going into those more over the next coming weeks if the opportunity still presents itself. Bottom line is, I think we're in a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The second leg is getting started at a point where the markets have given us another buying opportunity that we may not see again in our lifetime. So if you do have some spare change under the couch, consider uranium if you haven't already done so. If you have, maybe a couple more pennies into some of these names won't hurt that much. I think in the long run, you'll benefit tremendously from this, and that's the understatement of a century. Anyways, guys, appreciate you following and watching. Appreciate all your shares, reshares, support over the last 6 months, and frankly over the last year since Moniology went live back in August. We've got a number of subscribers. We really appreciate your contribution to what we're doing here. And if you like our work, please consider joining us for the next 12 months, because I think you're going to see some tremendous gains in the stocks that we're covering, and your portfolio will handsomely reward you. Anyway, have a great weekend, and if you're in the United States, happy July 4th, happy Independence Day, and we will catch you over the weekend. Take care.